Stop running through the wall. Pause. Right there, mid-stride, gasping like you just got punched in the chest, lungs on fire, legs turning to concrete, heart pounding in your ears like it's trying to escape your body. That's not toughness. That's a mistake, and I'm about to prove it to you in the next few minutes. If you've ever tried to run a 5K and ended up walking half of it, red-faced, embarrassed, hands on your knees on the side of some random street while strangers jog past you like it's nothing, convinced your body is broken, convinced you're just not cut out for this, convinced everyone else figured out some secret you never got let in on, I need you to actually hear what I'm about to say. Your body isn't broken. Your strategy is. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the thing you've been avoiding, the thing that feels like quitting, the thing that feels like admitting defeat in front of your own Strava followers, taking breaks, might be the single most important tool standing between you and finally running that 5K without stopping. But before we get into it, do me a favor, because this channel only survives if you're actually part of it. Hit subscribe right now, because this channel exists for one reason and one reason only: to keep runners like you healthy, informed, and actually improving instead of guessing your way through every single run and wondering why nothing's working no matter how hard you try. Drop a like if you've ever felt that burn in your chest and immediately thought, something is wrong with me. Comment below and tell me what city, what country you're watching this from, because I read every single one of them, and it genuinely changes how I plan these videos. Share this with the runner in your life who needs to hear it, the one who keeps quitting at the exact same spot on their route every single time, the one who's already made 3 different excuses for why they just can't run this year. And if you want to help this channel stay alive, keep making free running science content, and keep growing this community of people who actually train smart instead of training angry, there's a membership link pinned in the comments below. It costs less than your post-run smoothie, and it keeps this whole thing running. Okay, let's actually get into it. Here's the lie you've been told since your first gym class. Probably some coach yelling it at you while you were doubled over trying not to throw up in front of your entire 7th grade class. No pain, no gain, push through it. Real runners don't stop. Ridiculous. Let's actually look at what's happening inside your body when you push through, instead of just repeating a slogan that's older than your running shoes, older than your gym teacher, honestly, older than the concept of the treadmill itself. When you sprint into oxygen debt and just grind forward, refusing to acknowledge the signal your own body is sending you, your muscles are screaming for oxygen. They are simply not getting fast enough. Your body starts producing lactate faster than it can clear it out of your bloodstream. Your pH starts dropping. Your muscles are literally acidifying in real time, cell by cell, while you keep telling yourself just one more block, just one more song, just don't stop. That burning sensation you've been told is character building isn't your body forging some kind of mental toughness medal for you to wear with pride. It's your body sending an emergency message in capital letters, flashing red, that says, "We are out of usable fuel right now. Slow down or shut down completely. This is not a drill." And what does almost every new runner do the second they feel that signal? They ignore the message. They grit their teeth. They keep grinding forward because somewhere along the way, maybe from a movie, maybe from a coach, maybe from some influencer in a tank top screaming motivational nonsense at a camera, they learned that stopping means failing. And what happens next, every single time, like clockwork? They stop completely, hands on knees, defeated, staring at the sidewalk, lungs burning, vision a little blurry, convinced they're just not built for running, when the truth is something completely different, something nobody bothered to explain to them before handing them a pair of shoes and a finish line to chase. Think about that for a second. You are not failing because you're weak. You are failing because you're misreading a signal your own body is sending you, loud and clear, in plain language, and choosing to override it instead of working with it like an actual partner, instead of an enemy you're trying to defeat through sheer force of will. Let's do a real reality check here, because this is where it tends to get a little uncomfortable, and I'd rather make you uncomfortable for 2 minutes than let you keep wasting months chasing a finish line that keeps slipping further away. If you've been running continuously, white-knuckling through every single session, refusing to slow down even for 10 seconds because slowing down feels like admitting defeat in front of an audience that genuinely isn't even watching you, you have been quietly training your body to associate running with panic, not performance. Panic. Your nervous system is incredibly good at learning patterns, frighteningly good actually, and if every single run you've ever done ends in gasping, dizziness, nausea, and quitting. Your brain starts flagging running itself as a threat before you even get your shoes laced up in your own living room. That is why some days you can't even talk yourself into walking out the front door, why your motivation evaporates the second your alarm goes off, why you suddenly find 17 other things that need to get done first. It's not laziness. It's not a lack of motivation. It is self-preservation, plain and simple. Your brain remembers exactly how miserable the last attempt felt, filed it away as a threat to avoid, and it is doing its job perfectly by trying to protect you from repeating an experience it has categorized as dangerous. Now here's the part that's going to sting a little, so brace yourself, because I'm not here to just validate whatever you've been doing and call it a day. The no pain, no gain mentality isn't just outdated. It is physiologically backwards for endurance sports specifically, and the science on this has been settled for a long time. In strength training, sure, a certain level of discomfort is part of the actual adaptation process. That's how muscle fibers break down and rebuild stronger. But long-distance running runs on a completely different energy system, the aerobic system, which depends entirely on oxygen to function efficiently over extended periods of time. And here's the part nobody wants to admit out loud, especially not the people selling you no excuses merchandise. Oxygen delivery doesn't improve through brute force. It doesn't improve because you suffered more than the guy next to you on the trail. It improves through consistency. It improves through manageable, repeatable stress applied over weeks and months, not through one heroic, miserable session that leaves you limping for 4 days. It improves by giving your body just enough of a challenge to trigger genuine adaptation, without enough to trigger a total system collapse that sets you back even further than where you started. So be honest with yourself for a second, and I mean actually honest. Not the version of honest you tell your friends when they ask how your run went and you say, "Yeah, it was good," while internally replaying the moment you nearly threw up near a stranger's mailbox. How many of your runs have ended in genuine improvement, in you feeling stronger, more capable, more in control of your own body? And how many have ended with you wheezing on a curb somewhere, hands on your knees, wondering why you even bother? Lacing up in the first place when every run feels like the first one all over again? That ratio, whatever it actually is for you right now, tells you almost everything you need to know about whether your current approach is actually working or just quietly grinding you down. So let's get into the science, because I'm not just saying this to sound dramatic on camera. This is real exercise physiology, the kind that's been sitting quietly in textbooks and sports science journals for decades, while social media convinced an entire generation of runners that suffering is the same thing as progress. It is not. There are 3 pillars that determine whether your running actually improves over time, and almost nobody explains them in plain language without burying them under jargon, so let's fix that right now, in real time, no whiteboard required. Pillar number 1, VO2 max. This is your body's maximum capacity to use oxygen during intense exercise, basically how big your engine is and how much fuel it can burn at full throttle. The higher your VO2 max, the more fuel your muscles have access to during hard efforts, which directly translates into how long you can sustain effort before that wall slams into you like a brick truck. But here's the part everyone skips right past. VO2 max does not improve by running until you collapse on the pavement, gasping, seeing stars, questioning your life choices. It improves through structured training, things like intervals, tempo runs, and yes, recovery periods, the exact pause strategy you've probably been avoiding because somewhere in your head it feels like cheating, like you're getting away with something you shouldn't. It is not cheating, it is the actual mechanism your body uses to adapt and grow stronger. Pillar number 2, lactate threshold. This is the specific point where lactate starts accumulating in your bloodstream faster than your body can clear it back out. The moment your engine starts flooding instead of running. Clean. Stay below that threshold and you can run for a genuinely long time without falling apart, almost effortlessly compared to what you're used to. Cross it, even a little, even for 30 seconds longer than you should have, and the clock starts ticking loudly toward total failure. Toward that wall you keep slamming into around the same mile marker every single time. And here's the brutal truth nobody tells beginners on day 1. Most beginner runners blow straight past their own threshold. Within the first half mile, sometimes within the first quarter mile, because they're chasing a pace that has absolutely nothing to do with their actual current fitness level. Usually because they're comparing themselves to some stranger's highlight reel on Instagram, some guy posting his negative split half marathon while you're just trying to survive a 5K without your lungs, staging a full revolt. Pause. Actually think about that for a second. You are pacing your own unique body against a curated, edited, best possible day video of someone else's training cycle. Not against your own physiology, not against your own training history, not against the body you actually woke up in this morning. That's not motivation. That is self-sabotage wearing brand new running shoes. Pillar number 3. Running economy. This is how efficiently your body uses oxygen at any given pace, basically how smooth and effortless your engine sounds while it's working. It's the reason two runners with nearly identical fitness levels, similar age, similar VO2 max even, can run the exact same speed and have completely different experiences, one feeling smooth, controlled, almost meditative, the other feeling like they're actively dying with every single step, counting down the seconds until they can stop. Running economy improves with practice, with refined form, with thousands of repeated strides that slowly teach your body to waste less energy on unnecessary movement, and critically, with the kind of strategic recovery that actually lets your nervous system absorb the training you just put it through, instead of just gritting your teeth and white-knuckling your way to the finish line every single time without ever letting the adaptation actually happen. And underneath all 3 of these pillars sits the one thing almost nobody talks about, the one thing that's quietly sabotaging you long before your muscles are even the limiting factor, long before your legs have given out: your breathing. Most runners breathe like they're already panicking before they've even started struggling, like their body got the memo about difficulty before the difficulty actually arrived. Shallow, rapid, chest-driven breaths that barely move any real volume of air in or out. That kind of breathing spikes your heart rate artificially, increases your perceived effort even when your actual physical output hasn't changed one bit, and accelerates fatigue long before your legs have anything legitimate to do with the problem. Your lungs are gasping not because they genuinely need to in that moment, but because your brain has convinced itself that they do, and your body, ever obedient, goes along with the panic. So here's the actual revelation, and I want you to sit with this one for a second instead of just nodding along and moving on like you usually do. Walking breaks during a run are not a failure of willpower. They are a regulation tool, every bit as legitimate and intentional as your shoes, your watch, your playlist, your hydration plan. When you take a structured walk break, and I'm talking about a planned, brief, intentional recovery window, not a collapse, not stopping in shame on the side of the road while you scroll your phone pretending to check a text, you allow your heart rate to drop back down into an aerobic zone where your body can actually function efficiently again. You allow lactate to start clearing out of your system instead of stacking up uselessly. You allow your breathing to reset from panic mode back into controlled, rhythmic breathing that actually serves you instead of working against you. And that controlled breathing right there is the real secret nobody bothered to package into a catchy slogan for you, because breathe rhythmically doesn't sell as many protein shakes as no pain, no gain. Try this pattern on your next run. Inhale for 2 steps, exhale for 2 steps. Or, if you want a slightly easier rhythm for longer, gentler. Efforts, inhale for 3 steps, exhale for 2. This rhythmic pattern keeps your nervous system calm instead of triggering a full alarm response that floods your body with stress hormones you don't actually need right now. It keeps your diaphragm doing the real work instead of your panicked, shallow chest muscles taking over and burning extra energy for nothing. And it keeps you sitting comfortably inside that aerobic zone where fat and oxygen are doing the heavy lifting instead of your muscles, screaming in their own self-produced acid, begging you to just stop already. This is exactly why run-walk strategies, the ones elite coaches have quietly used for decades, long before they ever became a hashtag, consistently produce faster 5K finish times for beginner and intermediate runners than stubborn, continuous running attempts. Not because walking itself is faster, obviously it isn't. Nobody's claiming a brisk walk beats a steady jog, because walking strategically prevents the total system crash that turns your run into a slow, miserable death march somewhere around minute 15, the kind where every remaining minute feels 3 times longer than the last. Ridiculous, right? The exact thing you assumed was proof of weakness, taking a break mid-run, catching your breath, resetting your rhythm, is literally the technique that gets brand new runners to their first sub-30-minute 5K faster than stubborn, ego-driven continuous running ever could on its own, no matter how much willpower you think you're bringing to the table. So let's talk about how you actually apply this without turning it into homework, without turning your runs into a spreadsheet you dread opening, because I'm not interested in turning this into a lecture. You forget the second you close this tab. Pick a run-walk ratio that genuinely matches where you are right now, today. Not where your ego desperately wants you to be. Not where some stranger on the internet already is after years of training. You haven't done yet. If you're brand new to this, start with running for 1 minute, walking for 1 minute. I know that sounds almost embarrassingly easy compared to what you see online, compared to the highlight reels and the marathon medals and the perfectly cropped finish line photos. It's not embarrassing, it's strategic. It's exactly what an actual exercise physiologist would prescribe if they were standing next to you instead of some random comment section telling you to just push through it. As your aerobic base builds, and it absolutely will, usually faster than you expect, often within just a few weeks of consistent practice, you extend those running intervals gradually. 2 minutes running, 1 minute walking, then 4 minutes running to 1 minute walking, then 8 to 1. Eventually, those walk breaks shrink down to almost nothing, not because you forced it through sheer stubbornness, but because your body has actually built the physiological capacity to sustain effort, real adaptation happening at the cellular level, instead of just gritting your teeth and hoping for the best every single time you step outside. And during those walk breaks, don't just zone out and wait for the timer to tell you it's over. Use them intentionally, like a tool, not like a punishment. Reset your breathing back into that rhythmic pattern we just talked about. Drop your shoulders, because tension sitting up around your shoulders and neck is quietly bleeding energy you genuinely don't have to spare on a long run. Energy that should be going to your legs, not wasted holding your shoulders up by your ears. Let your heart rate settle back down into a manageable range. Then ease back into your running pace instead of attacking it like it personally insulted you, like it owes you something for the trouble. And here's your actual aha moment, the one I want you to carry with you into your very next run, the one I want stuck in your head the next time you're lacing. Up your shoes in that quiet moment before you walk out the door. You've been treating walk breaks like proof that you're not a real runner, like some kind of asterisk next to your name in an imaginary scoreboard nobody else is even looking at. Flip that completely, right now, in your head. The runner who strategically walks and finishes strong is exercising far more discipline than the one who sprints out at an unsustainable pace, blows up halfway through, and quits before the finish line out of sheer exhaustion and frustration. Discipline isn't refusing to ever slow down no matter what. Discipline is knowing exactly when to pause. Think back through every single run you've ever quit on, every single one. Was it because your body truly, physically, could not continue another step? Like genuinely could not? Or was it because you never once gave it a structured, intentional chance to recover before demanding even more from it, again and again, run after run? Be honest with yourself, right? Now, no audience, no Strava, just you and the truth. That answer, whatever it actually turns out to be, changes everything about how you should be training from this point forward. So next time you head out for that 5K, whether it's this week or this weekend, I need you to forget the all-or-nothing mindset completely. Leave it at the door along with every excuse you've collected over the past few months. Run smart intervals. Breathe on purpose, not on panic. Walk when the plan tells you to walk, not when you're already collapsing on the side of the road wondering if a stranger is going to stop and ask if you're okay. And then watch, actually watch. What happens to your finish time the moment you stop sabotaging yourself with bad strategy disguised as toughness? The moment you start training like someone who actually understands their own body instead of fighting it every single time you step outside. Now, if you think running itself feels like a battle, an actual uphill fight against your own body and your own doubts, wait until you see what's coming in the next video, because we're about to ask a question that's going to make you rethink your entire approach to training from the ground up. If running were the World Cup, would you even survive the group stage? Some of you are about to find out you've been training like a team that gets eliminated in the very first round, sent home early. No fanfare, no glory, and I'm going to show you exactly why that's happening. Exactly. Where the breakdown occurs in your training and exactly what to do about it before your next race rolls around. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, because this next one is going to hit different, and you're going to want to be there for it.